Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Melissa, and welcome to my channel. Or if you're new here, a huge warm welcome. I make Christian videos every single week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And anyways, let's get on with this video. So I have a new little setup going on. I hope you guys like it. I think it's really cozy and cute. And this is also a collab with my friend, the girl Saved by Grace, over on YouTube, and she's talking about friendship as well. So I will link her channel down below. After you've watched my video, please go and check hers out too and subscribe to her because she's so amazing. So let's talk about friendship. So first things first, I have 3 points that I just wanted to share in this video, and then I'm going to answer some questions that you guys asked me over on my Instagram to do with friendship as well. So just a pointer before I get into like the 3 things, I just want to say that friendship is so important. As a Christian, yes, it's important to have Christian friends, but it's also important to have friends that aren't Christians too. You don't have to cut yourself off and just be like, sorry, I'm a Christian now, so I'm not gonna be friends with you if you don't believe in God. Like, that's not what we're here for. But yeah, having a circle of friends that are Christian, that can build you up and help you in your walk with God, is so important as well. And that's one reason why we have the church, is that we can go and we can make friendships and be with people that are Christians like us. So anyways, let's get on with these 3 points. These are 3 things when it comes to friendship that I always like to remember. It's these things that my pastors talk about in my church as well, and they've really helped me over the years when it comes to making Christian friends. So point number 1, if you want good friends, first you have to be a good friend. My pastor always talks about this. He has had so many people come up to him and be like, I don't have any Christian friends, like how can I make them? And the first thing that you need to do if you want Christian friends, you have to be a good friend yourself. It's so important to be working on yourself, to be making sure that you're asking God to work on you, to become more like Jesus every single day. Obviously none of us are perfect, but if you want to have good friends in your life, you need to be a good friend as well. It's so easy to just be like, oh my goodness, there's nobody good out there, like nobody's making the effort. But like, are you making the effort yourself? Are you being a good friend yourself? Like, if you want a friend who is loyal, are you being loyal yourself? It's so important to show the fruits in your life before you can have those good, strong Christian friendships. Point number 2 is be bold and don't take offense. So kind of linking into the first point, be bold. I've done this in my own life so many times. I'm like, why is this person not making the effort? Why are they not messaging me first? Why am I the person that always has to message? And sometimes when it comes to friendships, like, people operate in different ways. Sometimes people don't have the personality to message first all the time. Like, sometimes they might just forget. I know with some of my friends, I'm always the person that messages, just because their personality type, they don't really like going on their phone, they don't really keep up with messages that much. Like, it's not because they don't want to message me, it's because they have a busy life, or they forget, or that's just not the way they operate, and that's completely okay. Like, when it comes to friendships, you gotta be bold. Sometimes that involves you making the first move and being like, hey, do you want to meet up for a coffee? And like, be specific as well. Like, if you want to make a new friend, go up to them and be like, hey, do you want to meet up for coffee on Friday at this time? Like, be specific about it, because if you say like, hey, we should hang out sometime, like, that's so vague and that's probably not going to turn into anything. But if you're specific, you can actually make like a friendship date happen and you can get to know that person. So yeah, I would say be bold. It's so difficult. I get you guys. Like, I have really struggled in this area before, being bold. I can sometimes be a bit shy in that aspect, but it's so important to be bold and to make the first move when it comes to friendship. The other thing that I kind of linked into that was don't take offense. Oh my goodness, guys, I definitely take offense sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, I can take things personally a lot, and like, when it comes to friendship, that's not okay. Like, when you take things personally all the time, like, that can be really toxic and damaging for a friendship, and it's gonna stunt the growth of that Christian friendship too if you just take offense to like everything that they say. Say for example, if you have a friend and they say something that like you take as offensive, like, a lot of the time they don't actually mean it in that way. Like, if you're friends with that person, they obviously love you, they want the best for you. Like, I'm sure they don't want to tear you down. So if you've taken offense to something, maybe say like, hey, what did you mean when you said that? Like, you know, be honest about it, be honest about how it made you feel, instead of just taking offense immediately and being like, I don't want to be your friend anymore, or something like that. It's so important in friendships to just be honest and don't take offense to everything, because I've learned that lesson the hard way. Like honestly, most of the time people want the best for you. Like people are not out to get you. So I think when you just remember that when it comes to friendships, like it'll just be so much better. And the third point that I have is keep Jesus in the center. Make sure that fruits are being shown in your friendship. So obviously if you're friends with people that don't know Jesus, you won't be able to keep Jesus in the center because that person doesn't know Jesus. It's a different kind of friendship, I guess. But when you guys are both Christians, it's so vital to keep Jesus at the center, and you can do this in so many ways. I said that fruits need to be shown for a purpose. Like when you're in a friendship, are you gossiping? Because that's not a good fruit to have in a friendship. That's just gonna make it wither. You know, are you joyful when you're together, or is everything negative all the time? Like is all you speak about just negative stuff? Because if it is, that friendship's not gonna grow. When you're together, you know, maybe encourage each other, pray for one another, read the Bible together. Like there's so many great things that you can do in friendships to keep it Jesus centered. And yeah, I would just say like there's so many things to take out of friendships, like gossip, negativity, like competitiveness, jealousy. There's so many things that just need to stay out of friendships. And if you're sensing like the other person is jealous or you're being jealous, like definitely pray about it, be honest with that person. Honesty is just the best policy, honestly. Like I know everyone says that, but it's so true, especially in Christian friendships. So yeah, those are kind of the 3 points that I kind of wanted to talk about when it comes to Christian friendships that have really helped me in my own life. And a Bible story that I really love, I've been reading at the moment, is from 1 Samuel, and in specific like 1 Samuel 18, 19 and 20. Those 3 chapters really speak about Jonathan and David's friendship. Like they are 2 people in the Bible that have such a strong friendship, and I just absolutely have been loving reading it. So if you guys want to know more about Christian friendship, like I would definitely recommend reading 1 Samuel 20 in specific. This chapter will show you so much about Christian friendship, so definitely go and check that out. So now why don't we move on to the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram. I love you guys. I love chatting with you on there. So if you don't follow me, I will link it down below. So the first question is how to keep each other accountable without being mean. This is such a good question. Oh my goodness. Accountability when it comes to friendships is everything. So in my own life, I think I have like about 3 or 4 people keeping me accountable for different things in my life, and this is so helpful, and I would definitely recommend it if you guys want that in your life. So I would say first things first, when it comes to accountability, both people have to want it. So you can't keep somebody accountable if they don't want you to, you know what I mean? Like it has to be something they choose, and it has to be something that you want to do for them too. So say for example, like if one of your friends comes up to you and is like, hey, can you keep me accountable for temptation because I'm in this Christian relationship and I just need somebody to ask me like how things are going every week. If your friend asks that, like you as a person can message them every week. Like this is what I love doing personally. I love keeping it kind of like a chill, casual thing. I don't like making it something that's like huge and like serious. Like, so for the friends that I keep accountable, I just message them every week or every other week and just say like, hey, let's have an accountability chat. Like, how are things going? Like, I would say just make it a chill thing. Don't make it something that's too serious. And that way, I don't think it'll come across mean. I think it will come across as you genuinely caring for that person. So yeah, that's what I would say. Like, it has to be a choice. It has to be something that people want, and keep it chill, keep it casual. The next question is, how do you find Christian friends in an environment like school? This is such a good question. When I was in high school, I genuinely did not know who was a Christian, who wasn't. For me, like, I would just say, when somebody asks you like how your week was or how your weekend was, like say like, oh, I went to youth group or I went to church. Like, don't hold those things back, because maybe like if you start a conversation with somebody and you're like, oh yeah, I went to church this weekend, they might be like, oh, I went to church too, and then you find that common ground, you find that that person's a Christian too. So that's like one way that I would say to do, is just be honest about what you're doing and see if anybody else is going to church or youth group as well. Like, don't hide your faith. Like, if somebody asks you a question about faith or about your beliefs, like, don't hide it. Like, be honest about it, even if it is tough. Like, you might find somebody who's a Christian like you. So the last question is how to set good boundaries when it comes to friendship. This is such an important question. I love it. I love all the questions you guys are asking. Thank you so much. I would really say think about what matters to you. So I'll give an example from my own life, because I think it's helpful when people give examples. So for me, I don't really like it when people message me like every hour or like every second, because I feel really claustrophobic when people are constantly messaging me like all the time. Like, I love messaging people, I love being there to pray for people, but sometimes like when people message me me every hour, and when it's a really negative conversation, that can really get on top of me because I love to empathize with people, but when people are being negative all the time and being like, oh, this is happening in my life and this, and when it's all negative, when there's nothing positive, and when they're constantly messaging me, that can really just overwhelm me. I'm not gonna lie guys, I have really had to learn how to set boundaries. I was absolutely rubbish at setting boundaries like last year, and to be honest, I'm still not the best. Like, I'm a people pleaser. I love to be there for people, I love to pray for people, like I said, and sometimes that can stop me from setting healthy boundaries. But for me as a person, I've just had to say like, hey, I'm praying for you, but I can't be messaging you all the time, and just leave it at that. Like, just set that boundary, like, hey, I'm praying for you, but I'm not gonna message back for another couple days. Or, you know, you need to set a boundary from the start. I would say that's one tip that I would say before a friendship gets too far. I would say like, okay, if somebody's messaging you all the time and it's getting on your back, before it gets too far gone, I would say from the start like, hey, I love you messaging me and I'm praying for you, but it's getting a bit too much for me at the moment, so I'll message you back in a couple of days, or something like that. So make your boundaries specific and set the boundaries from the start if you can. Just like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship kind of thing, like if you're a Christian, it's so important to set boundaries from the start of your relationship so that you know where you're going. It's just the same in a friendship as well, so make sure you set that boundary like, hey, like, I love speaking to you, but I'm not gonna reply after 9 p.m. because that's when I have my chill time. Or, hey, I love messaging you, but it's not gonna be all the time, like, you know, something like that. Or, hey, I love meeting up with you, but I can only meet up once a week because I have all these other things to do. Like, make sure your boundaries are being specific. But yeah, boundaries are something that I'm still learning. Like, they are so important, but as a people pleaser, like, let me know if you guys relate, but sometimes I find it really hard to set boundaries because of that, because I want to please people. But yeah, you are worth it, you are so valuable, make sure you're setting boundaries. But yeah, I know that this video was a bit longer, but I had so much to cram into it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my amazing friends video on friendship down below as well. If you guys have any questions or you want to pray or chat with me, make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I love you guys so much. You guys are so valuable, so loved by Jesus, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!